Meditation with corpses is an ancient Buddhist practice, mainly practiced in Thailand, to awaken to the impermanence of all things, but it has also caused much controversy. Thai public opinion was shocked when police searched and discovered a total of 73 bodies at two meditation facilities in Pho Thale and Bang Mun Nak districts, both in Phichit province, northern Thailand. Both meditation facilities were linked to monk Saiphon Phandido, who is being questioned to clarify the origin of the bodies. Thongchai Kimak Thong, head of Bang Mun Nak district, said monks told local officials that the bodies were used for meditation at both facilities. The incident has sparked much controversy over meditation with corpses, an ancient Buddhist practice that has been practiced in Thailand for centuries. In this ascetic practice, participants meditate next to a decomposing corpse in various stages to increase their awareness that death can happen at any time. Justin McDaniel, a professor of religion at the University of Pennsylvania, USA, explains that meditating among a decomposing corpse in the tropical heat is considered to help awaken to important teachings of the Buddha, such as not being attached to the body and everything being impermanent. The ritual is an ascetic practice to learn about selflessness, meaning that nothing is permanent or unchanging, and the more selfless you are, the closer you are to nirvana, he says. The bodies used in these meditation rituals are often children or young adults who have died suddenly, and their families donate them to the temple in the hope that this tragedy will initiate a good cause. The Zen master sees the young deceased as representing the best of humanity, Professor McDaniel explains. They are innocent, not selfish, greedy, or ambitious. If such beautiful things are destroyed, why are we complacent and vain? We are even uglier than corpses. The December 26, 2004 tsunami disaster in Phuket killed nearly 5,000 people. A few days later, Thai monks were tasked with processing and cremating more than 2,400 bodies after the disaster. Although the bodies were bloated and smelling of decomposition, the monks still performed the requiem and cremated them according to traditional Buddhist rites. Experts say that years of practicing meditation with corpses helped the monks carry out this difficult task. Meditation with corpses is essentially meditating while looking at pictures of dead people or looking at corpses in the process of decomposition, explained monk Siripanyo Bhikkhu after participating in the effort to process the bodies of tsunami victims in Phuket. The purpose of this form is that our mind understands that when we look at a living person, we actually only see the outer body of that person. We are obsessed with the outer. No one wants to see the inner nature, but we try to look at them equally, neither interested nor disgusted by the attractive or unattractive traces on the outside and inside. Relatives and survivors of the tsunami witnessed the victims being cremated every day. All the relatives came to stand around and watch the fire, Bhikkhu said. This is very normal. The nature of this world is impermanence. In addition to corpse meditation, abbots in Thailand have many unusual meditation methods. A monk meditated in hot oil at a temple in Nong Bua Lamphu province in 2016. At Tam Mangkon Thong Temple, nuns meditated while floating on a pond. Pai Chivalsai Temple also has a method of meditating in a barrel containing pythons. Some monks meditate in caves or coffins where no light enters, believing that the pitch blackness is helpful for intense concentration. The meditation technique that monks and ordinary people practice involves being completely silent for 10 days. Some temples offer retreats for visitors, encouraging them to stay awake for the last 3 days. Sleep deprivation is essential to entering the stage of enlightenment, explains Brooke Shedneck, a lecturer in Buddhism at the Institute of Southeast Asian Studies in Chiang Mai, Thailand. The goal of meditation for all Buddhists is to gain insight. According to Professor Casanidi, those who practice ascetic meditation believe that it helps them get to the truth quickly. For the bhikkhu monk, carrying a photo of a corpse may sound creepy and strange, but it is completely normal in Thailand. That's the purpose of monasteries, to remind us that the nature of human life is impermanent and temporary, he explains. However, the practice of meditating with corpses is controversial because it could violate legal regulations on burial and cremation of the dead. Thailand's National Office of Buddhism is also looking into whether meditating with dozens of corpses at 2 facilities in Phichit province conflicts with Buddhist principles. Theravada Buddhism, mindfulness of death is a common practice in Southeast Asian Buddhist monasteries. Buddhist monasteries such as Wat Pa Nanachat will often have human skeletons on display in the meditation hall. In the Pali Canon, the Satipatthana Sutta MN and the Kayagatasati Sutta include sections on cemetery contemplations which focus on 9 stages of corpse decomposition, Pali Navasivathika Manasakara. These are 1. A corpse that is swollen, blue, and festering. 2. A corpse that is being eaten by crows, hawks, vultures, dogs, jackals, or by different kinds of worms. 3. A corpse that is reduced to a skeleton together with some flesh and blood held in by the tendons. 4. A corpse that is reduced to a blood-besmeared skeleton without flesh but held in by the tendons. 5. A corpse that is reduced to a skeleton held in by the tendons but without flesh and not besmeared with blood. 6. A corpse that is reduced to bones gone loose, scattered in all directions. 7. A corpse that is reduced to bones, white in color like a conch. 8. A corpse that is reduced to bones more than a year old, heaped together. 9. A corpse that is reduced to bones gone rotten and become dust. The Satipatthana Sutta instructs the meditator to reflect thus. This body of mine, too, is of the same nature as that body, is going to be like that body, and has not got past the condition of becoming like that body. Illustration of mindfulness of death using corpses in a charnel ground, a subset of mindfulness of the body, the first Satipatthana. From an early 20th century manuscript found in Chaya district, Surat Thani province, Thailand. According to the Maranasati Sutta, a monk should reflect on the many possibilities which could bring him to death, and then turn his thoughts to the unskillful mental qualities he has yet to abandon. Just as when a person whose turban or head was on fire would put forth extra desire, effort, diligence, endeavor, undivided mindfulness, and alertness to put out the fire on his turban or head, in the same way, the monk should put forth extra desire, effort, diligence, endeavor, undivided mindfulness, and alertness for the abandoning of those very same evil, unskillful qualities. In Buddhaghosa's Visuddhimagga. According to Buddhaghosa's Visuddhimagga, there are 8 ways of meditating on death. Meditating on death as a murderer, since it takes away life. Meditating on it as the ruin of success. Viewing it by comparison with famous persons, reflecting that even these great ones eventually died, even the enlightened ones themselves. Meditating on the body as the abode of many, many worms, as well as the target of many others. Meditating on the difficulty of keeping alive. Meditating on it as without occasion, since beings die unpredictably. Meditating on the shortness of a lifetime. Meditating on the fact that, properly speaking, the lifetime of a being is a single moment of consciousness, that one dies every moment, so to speak.